Every August for almost a century, Toastmasters from around the world have come together to celebrate wins, sharpen skills, and reconnect.
If you're new here, Toastmasters International is a nonprofit, volunteer-driven organization founded in 1924 by Rev. Smedley to help people communicate better and grow as leaders. I've helped thousands, including us, tackle the fear of public speaking.
Each year, a different city hosts the International Convention. This year, our hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
We're taking you along so you'll know what to expect and why you might want to attend.
The convention officially runs Wednesday through Saturday, but district leaders usually arrive the weekend before for training and networking.
We're local to suburban Philly, so we rode the regional rail late Wednesday morning. Of course, missed the board meeting and first-timer tour. But hey, we knew the city pretty well.
The host hotel was the Philadelphia Marriott. Thanks to status, we checked in early and scored breakfast and evening snacks. Turned out to be a huge money saver for the week.
For lunch, we went to McGillen's Old Ale House, Philly's oldest continuously operating pub since 1860. It's tucked away, the food's tasty, and reasonably priced. Then they were out of my first three choice, my luck.
After lunch, we headed back to pick up our badges and reconnect with some people we haven't seen in a while. As our district hosted the convention, we knew a lot of people who this was their first time to come to Toastmasters Convention.
And at 7 p.m. sharp was the opening ceremony. You'll hear from the international president and the host committee.
Welcome to Toastmasters 2025 International Convention.
And then one of the highlights of the convention is the parade of flags, with flag bearers presenting flags from over 150 countries that Toastmaster has a presence in, many in traditional dress. It is always one of the top highlights of an international convention.
And the keynote was Ann Booney encouraging us to embrace change. She had a problem to solve, a plan to recognize, to solve, and punch it, Margaret. Her grandmother was driving slowly in the intersection, and her son said, "Punch it, Margaret," and she sped up and got out of the way from the intersection.
And as always, one of the hallmarks of a Toastmasters convention is the late night sing-along. But being early risers, we saved our voices for the next day.
Volunteered for a 5:30 a.m. city walk on Facebook. One brave soul joined us, and we strolled to see the Liberty Bell, just 7 blocks from the convention center. An iconic never gets old.
After a free breakfast in the concierge lounge, they offered the morning educational sessions, which offered 4 topics, and these will repeat in the afternoon, so you'd be able to catch 2 of them. One was the Story Finder with Ed Tate, who was a former world champion of public speaking. Future Boards workshop with Sarah Contrella. She talked about how to start a future board, how you could get pictures from Pinterest, what your future would look like in 5 to 10 years, and look for pictures to encourage you to make that commitment and succeed in it. Next up was Lights, Camera, Impact with Forrest Tuff. He talked about social media, what kind of social media there is out there, such as Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and so forth. How to make an impact on social media with your voice, pictures, and what kinds of pictures to use for certain audiences. How you identify the audience, convey your brand by messaging via storytelling, make storytelling impactful and ready for success, and let your haters be your motivators. Then there was the net approach with Melinda Lee.
And we chose the future boards and Lights, Camera, Impact. We've seen Ed Tate before. As always, he was great, and we wanted something new.
After the morning sessions, we headed over to the Reading Terminal Market for lunch. We skipped the paid networking lunch because with an icon like the Reading Terminal Market there, you want to go there as often as you can. If you're not familiar with the Reading Terminal Market, it is one of the oldest farmers markets in the country with fresh produce, fresh meats, and a ton of great food stalls.
And of course, we chose the chicken and waffles for the win.
In the afternoon, the World Champion of Public Speaking semifinals took place. If you're not familiar with the World Championship of Public Speaking is, it's a speaking contest where the presenter gives a 5 to 7 minute speech, and this starts at the club level, and the winners advance through the area, division, district, and then the international quarterfinals. There's 28 quarterfinals to compete in one of 4 semifinals at the international convention. The top 8 reach the Saturday's finals. We chose semifinal number 3 to see Leslie Crudup since she was representing District 38.
As we wrapped up the day with the Future Boards workshop, and then, thanks to the Marriott Lounge, next was for dinner.
The Evening Hall of Fame celebrated member and district achievements, and yes, another sing-along, which we, of course, skipped.
At 5:30 a.m., we got up to try another walk, and of course, there was no takers, so back to bed we went.
The morning session featured the Golden Gavel Award and recognizing the leadership from the districts that achieved distinguished status the prior year. For those who are not familiar with the Golden Gavel Award, it is the highest award Toastmasters International gives, and it is to award excellence in the field of communications. As part of his award receipt, he did a presentation on communication, and he talked about the 4 F's: focus, fidelity, feelings, and framing. This session was devoted to how to keep your audience entertained, keep you accountable as to what you're saying, and reminded us, words and what you say matter. Next up was the finals of the Accredited Speaker Program. For those of you not familiar with the Accredited Speaker Program it's a designation that Toastmasters International offers to the most elite speakers. To even qualify for it, you need to have given over 25 paid presentations. And to get to the final stage, you would have needed to submit a video presentation for judging, and only those who meet the standards are eligible for the finals. This year, we only had 1 finalist. That shows you how elite this is. Miss Francois discussed face it until you ace it, which is a take on fake it until you make it. And she gives tips on how to improve yourself and set the best image of yourself to the outside and to yourself. Unfortunately, she did not pass the requirements, which was a surprise because she was phenomenal. And then after lunch, of course, at the Reading Terminal Market, they offered educational sessions. And these were very Toastmasters-centric sessions. And again, they were repeated, so you could pick 2 of the 4. The choices were Corporate Club Clinic, Club Growth on a Budget, Becoming Distinguished. These were clubs who had been distinguished for 10 or more years. They talked about how being at a club, you felt you were among friends. They did activities outside of the meetings. Some sing the club anthem to feel the room energy. Some had personal goals of the members were their first priority. They had newsletters where they acknowledged achievements and shared insight about the club. Alvin Jones, who is from New York, his club has 92 members and says, keeping it social and run your club like a profit business, leverage your organization, and let people know what Toastmasters is all about. And then there's the value-added membership was the final.
And we went to the value-added membership, which we had 2 panelists in that session. They shared how Toastmasters skills translated to big wins outside the club. Tiffany Beltran talked about her real estate and social media impacted her personal and professional life, inside and outside of Toastmasters. It really made an impact on how she interacted with other people and leadership skills. The other one we knew was Shane Cohen. He talked about how he started comedy and how he had a stutter problem. Soon after he started Toastmasters, he noticed that his stutter would go away and started another path to being a comedian. Way to go with both of them. that they had Toastmasters to lead on to.
The day ends with the annual business meeting. Members vote on bylaws and elect the incoming international leadership team. Toastmasters has 14 regions. Half or 7 of the international directors are elected each year for 2-year terms, plus the president-elect, first vice president, and second vice president.
The second vice president reign is often competitive, since it's essentially a path to international president in 3 years. I believe there were 2 second vice presidents that were running, so they had a 2-minute speech each to convince us to vote for them.
Since we weren't carrying votes, after the second vice president result, we slid down to the Brooklyn Dumpling House, which is a few blocks away. By the way, from past experience, the meeting keeps the energy up with the DJ, music, and sing-along during the downtimes. It's a Toastmaster tradition.
Saturday starts with the regional gatherings, led by the region's international director and regional advisors. They celebrate and do shout-outs and goal settings. Every year, they would have each district talked about their success and failures, but not every district had the allotted time to do their spiel. It always seems to come short on time, with the International Convention considered making this 90-minute session to maybe 2 to 2.5 hours long, so everyone had the chance to talk.
And then a powerful talk by Kate Donovan on overcoming burnout. This is super relevant to Toastmaster leaders because many are working full-time careers, raising families, in addition to their Toastmaster volunteer activities. So getting burned out is very common among Toastmaster leadership.
As the day went on, was the Grand Marquis event, the World Championship of Public Speaking finalists. 8 phenomenal speakers. When Sabyasachi Sengupta finished second on the stage, you could feel the warm shirt standout moment. His speech was called Just Nod. If you want to see it, we will link the speech in the description below. And then the convention closes with the installation of the new international leadership team.
And a black tie dinner to celebrate the years ahead.
If you are a Toastmaster or Toastmaster curious, this convention is worth it for the education, the inspiration, and the global leadership. And friendships, just remember you do not have to be a Toastmaster to attend. Anyone can attend and see what the convention.
Couple tips. 1, if you can, book the host hotel. Most of the events go on in the hotel or nearby. Plan to attend the educational sessions. Build in time to network. Learn about the host city and see what the must-dos are, because this may be your only time that you visit this city. In Philadelphia, obviously the Reading Terminal Market and the Liberty Bell and the Rocky Steps were must-do for a large part of the crowd. Next year, it's going to be in Vancouver, Canada, and there is a lot to do in Canada. Suggest adding a couple days either to the beginning or ending of your trip there.
Thanks for coming along. If this helped, please hit the like and subscribe button to Got the Magnet.
In the comments below, please put your comments. Did you attend this convention? Do you have any questions about the convention or Toastmasters in general?